It was the most watched Super Bowl halftime show ever, and the lead-in to the NFL's 2-minute-long ad for girls and women's flag football. It is growing fast, including right here in central New York. Joining the 6 teams to play in the inaugural Section 3 season last spring will be 5 more schools. Athletic director for one of them is Jamie Grimshaw from Central Square. Jamie, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So you'll join newcomers FM, Ontech, Oneida, Sherburne, and that original 6, which is Beeville, CNS, Liverpool, SAS, Syracuse East, Syracuse West. From your perspective, Central Square, what went into adding girls flag football? What was the level of interest? Obviously, it must have been high.
Yeah, so, it was a couple of our students had actually approached me on this and wanted to discuss the possibility of it. It's not something that was lost upon me that this was a very up-and-coming sport, but, I had a couple of students that came and said to me, hey, what would we need to make this fly? And my response to them was the first thing is we would have to have the interest. So I give a lot of credit to our students. They really kind of took the lead on this. They created a QR code. They hung it all throughout the building. And then what we did was we had a meeting. We had an interest meeting just to kind of see what the level would be. And I had upwards of 30 girls that showed up for that meeting. Wow. So right then and there, I knew that, there is definitely something here.
Yeah, but then how do you go from there's clearly excitement and interest to actually adding it as a varsity sport? We're talking budget, schedules, busing, uniforms, all those kinds of things. What goes into that process?
Sure. So again, once we determined and we met with them and just kind of explained, as you mentioned, this is a varsity level sport. There's a commitment there that you would have to make. Then I had the conversation with my superintendent, and both the superintendent and the board is always very high on making sure that we're giving students opportunities and if there's a need there. So having conversations in terms of just making sure that we could get uniforms and we could get, transportation covered and all those things. And then looking at, talking to the Section 3 people in terms of a schedule and whatnot, that this is something that we'd like to do. We were able to kind of make all those things kind of connect, and then we were able to move forward and say, yep, we're going to move forward with this as a varsity sport. Hiring coaches, that was something we advertised for. There was pretty significant interest amongst some of our staff in terms of coaching it and some great knowledge. So we're pretty excited where we landed and, very excited for this inaugural season.
Why do you think it is growing so fast in popularity? What have maybe the girls been able to articulate to you?
So I think that in the spring season, it gives them kind of an alternative. Right now, we offer lacrosse, we offer golf, we offer track, softball. And some of those sports, your lacrosses and your softballs, if you haven't been doing that for a very long time and kind of come up doing that as a very young kid, some of those skills are hard to pick up when you're in 9th grade, 10th grade. I think flag football is something that we can run, we can catch, we can kind of learn this. It's a physical game. It's something far different that's out there. So I think that's where you're seeing the excitement.
You mentioned this is a spring sport. So what's the inaugural season look like? When do you actually get out there?
Well, with all this snow, we're hoping to be out there as soon as possible. March 17th is when all the spring sports kick off. We've got our first scheduled scrimmage March 30th, right in that vicinity right there. So, again, just with some cooperation from the weather and getting some melt off and whatnot, we'll be up and running here within a couple of months. And, that first game, I think we've got 14 games on the schedule this first year. So, it's exciting, and it's very exciting for the girls.
Yeah, I'll see if I can talk to the Storm team and see if they can help you out with the weather thing. But I don't know. Given the weather we've seen, who knows? Jamie Grimshaw, thank you so much, the athletic director from Central Square. Good luck with girls flag football there and the season ahead. Thank you for joining us.
Great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.